Hi, everybody. It's Linda G. And today I'm here with Debra's Blue Tarot, who contacted me. And I told her to contact me again because I get a lot of people asking to collab. And she's so sweet. And she asked if she could collab, and we picked this date. And I'm just now getting to know her, but I think she's really good. So, intro yourself, Deborah.
Hi, everybody. I know a lot of my subs are here in a matter of what, February I started. So I have like 4,500 subs already. Yes, I know. I know. And
When do they monetize you? At
yeah,
7,000?
yeah, I monetize. Yeah. And they, when you know how you always talk about how cool people are when
Oh,
you do
yes.
your lives. It's incredible to me that we're in the political situation we are in, because the people that I know from this channel and this collective community are incredible,
That's great.
and it's mostly because of you.
Oh, thank you, honey. But listen, how did you know you were psychic? When did this all come about?
When I was a kid, I used to have like, oh, it's hard to explain, like a feeling, a knowing. But I'm 69 years old. So it's not like in those days you might have had a very uh, open mom who might have said, oh, well, perhaps this, that. No, no, it was nothing like that. And I didn't know. And used to go to a psychic. I used to go to her every month, and she used to tell me, this is too much. You don't need to go but I was so like into it. And then I kind of put it away for a while. I just went, nah, that was a phase. That's not real. Until I found you in 2018. And I'm sure my people are here. I know that a lot of them will show up here. I had my first live on my own the other night,
How was
and I
it?
had like six. It was amazing, amazing. I don't have, obviously, you know, a
Oh, I
ginormous.
didn't either when I
Well,
started.
right, right. But I had consistently over 600 people there, and we had so much fun. And there I am the whole time, Linda. And they want information, and I'm like, "Oh, hi, Sydney. Hi, Susie. Hi, Karen. Oh, oh, Rosie, you're here." I
I
just
know.
couldn't help
Hard not
myself.
to interact. Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I do not see the chat here at all right now, and it's
There is no
probably.
chat. We're not live.
Oh, good. And it's probably better, even hypothetically,
Yeah.
because there I am going, hi, Susie. Hi, Karen. Hi.
I really had a hard time doing live initially because I was offset by, and then trying to get questions off the, um,
Right.
and at one point I got 11,000 subscribers live.
Oh, I was in the room at that one point. And I remember when you said something like, oh my gosh, 8,000 people. And I was like, this is madness. How do you navigate that?
Yeah.
You're sitting there all by yourself. It's not like you have a little gnome. Well, maybe you do. Knowing you as I do, you just might have somebody under there. But the point is that it's overwhelming, and there I was doing da 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 da. So, but it was so much fun. No, we were there for 2 hours. Nobody wanted to leave.
Oh my
They
God.
said, "Oh, can't we stay another half hour?" And I said, "It's already." It was an 8 o'clock start time, and it was over. In my eyes, I thought we'd be done by 9. I was kind of keeping, wanting more.
Isn't that wonderful?
It has filled my soul. I want to retire. And I work in healthcare, as I think you know, and I probably mentioned this to you a couple times. And I work in women's imaging, in breast imaging, and so on. So
Okay.
I do biopsies and I do mammography and um, patient counseling and, a variety of things,
Right, right, right.
but I am at that point, I'll be 70 in January. And this is everyone going, I thought you were live. I thought you were live. And I just, it's time. I
Mm.
mean, it's just time. I work an 8-hour shift. They have me on, I'm contingent. So I only pick up maybe like max 8 days a month.
Oh, wow.
Maximum. It's a lot
Okay.
because it's yeah. And she had me on 1 week for 3 days in a row. And I came home and that night I couldn't sleep. My legs were cramping. It was just horrible. I'm
So do
old.
you
I mean,
do
I'm not old. I'm just,
do
you
you
know,
do personal readings?
I do personal readings. I have not had the time. I even have this here with me because I was so nervous that I thought I better take this. I better take this for protection, not to
Yeah, and
protect
you didn't
myself
realize
against
we weren't going
you.
to do live. Yeah. Usually my
Yeah.
first collabs, I don't do live. So it gives you can relax into it.
Oh, yes, I know, but I didn't know. I know
Okay.
that now, but I didn't
But
know.
how do people reach you for a personal reading?
They can reach me at my email. It's Debra's Blue Tarot with no punctuation.
Okay, it's
Debras
wait,
Blue Tarot.
Debras.
Blue, Blue, Tarot, Tarot, obviously,
Uh-huh.
at hotmail.com.
Okay. I'll put that on the link.
Okay. But I've been so engrossed in this, I haven't had time. I've been doing 2 readings a day.
That's all I can do when I
Uh,
was reading.
well, and 2 readings on the computer. I mean, 2 videos a day plus whatever, personal readings that I do.
What do you talk
Um,
about?
Politics, a
Okay.
lot of politics.
Is there
Um,
anything you're seeing that I haven't been seeing lately? You know the thing
well,
passed.
yes, actually, I use code words, okay? Because
Okay.
I don't want anybody's channel to get, including mine, to
Okay.
get yanked. So, Felon 45, right?
I can't
And
think of who that is. Hold on.
well, you just better scratch that beautiful hair of
I like to
yours.
call it the Orange Crush.
Well, Orange Mussolini, wasn't that isn't that what Mel calls him or somebody
I
calls
think
him
so.
Orange
Yeah.
Mussolini? Anyway, I call the other person, Spaceman, Elroy Jetson.
Okay. Oh, you know
Okay.
they are really having a
They are battling right now. Elroy is going to release information, Linda.
Ooh. Well,
Oh,
he
yes,
said if this
ma'am.
budget
Yes.
passes,
Oh,
Deborah, he said if this budget passes, he's going to start his
he
own
already started.
political.
Well, and he's going to fund the Democrats like they've never been funded before.
No.
And give it to us. Do your thing, Elroy.
Yeah.
Come on
Yeah.
now.
Well, no, he was going to start his own, not Republican or Democrat. He was going to
Right.
start his own political, but that
No, he's
won't work.
going
But did
to.
you hear Trump? Did you hear Trump? I say his name on my show and I don't get dinged. Did you hear what he said? He said that he never liked the EV. He never understood it. And he doesn't think it's right that people have to buy an electric car. He
He's a
thinks
liar.
Doge was a total wreck. It did not work out at all.
No,
So,
it didn't. He's right. I will have to agree with him.
and,
I got
and,
hacked
yeah.
as a result of that.
And he said that they are looking at deporting Elon.
Well, that's his way of jumping the You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first one out. I will call Hillary out. I will call the Lotus Queen. You know who that is. I will call them out before they call me out. You buy that pink stuff and you put it in your water.
The vitamin C.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was starting with a cold. My
I
nose
know
was running.
yesterday you were
I
all,
drank a bottle of this, and the next morning I woke up with no runny nose.
yeah. Yeah, I saw you with Mel yesterday and you were struggling,
Yeah, but
basically.
not that bad though. I'm
Well,
not.
yeah.
I
No,
wasn't
now
really
you're just,
sick, but that day, yeah, that day I was just my
yeah,
nose was
now
just
you're
running.
great.
Yeah,
But I forgot what we were talking about.
we're talking about Elon.
Elon, Elroy.
Elon.
So, well, whatever. We can say Elon on your channel if that's okay with you.
They don't mind. They don't mind.
Well, they don't mind because you have what, 450,000 people
No,
uh,
132,000.
by the end of the year.
But who's
Um,
counting?
they love you, Linda. We all love
Oh,
you.
listen, listen. We are all in for the same focus.
Yes, we are.
We all need this to be over, and it will change. Listen, when he won, do you remember how sick everybody was?
Oh, I'm
Everybody
so
swore
sick.
he wasn't going to win, and now we're finding out he didn't win. But also, when I told my guys, how could you? Because I wouldn't have doubted if everybody left my show and said,
Right,
you were
right,
so
right.
wrong. And I lost 1,000 subscribers. But within a week, I went
They
through the
came back.
roof.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Because
they
you
said,
can't be any better than your information.
right. So they said, my guides, I said, why? Why would you do this? Why did you let him win? And they said, Linda, man has free will, which means they have free will to cheat. And his people need to see who he really is. Just watch this bill. When it goes through, as terrible as it's going to hurt people, it's the stakes.
And
Because he
you're
signed the death penalty.
you're so right. And not only that, but I've told my people, so to speak, my people, my family, they're wonderful. I told them that this bill is not going to start tomorrow. It takes time to implement
Yeah, a lot of the
changes.
stuff, in fact, he'll be out of office before
Oh,
it even
oh,
starts.
he'll be dead before the end of the year. I'm yeah.
TikTok. I don't, I saw him in a coffin, but I will tell you something major is coming up for him.
Oh yeah, and it's going. I used to think that it was health because I have a lot. I often get the Three of Swords and the Death card with like something next to it that makes me think, right? But at the same time, I kind of don't want that to happen. I want him to live, to see
To
him
to
be
walk in
belittled.
shame.
Exactly. Exactly. To me, that's the justice.
Yeah,
We can't ever get that time back. We can't ever get our sanity back of what we lost,
yeah,
or the fear that we had that this is
right.
going to happen again and again.
You know, it's like I watch a lot of these murder, evil, and all these murder shows. Don't
Mhm.
ask. My mom used to watch them, so I got in the habit.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's very unsatisfying is if the perp ends up committing suicide in jail or something, and they did these horrendous crimes, and then it's never, and even though the family's glad that person's not around, they didn't get to be served that justice.
See, that's what I'm saying. I want to see this
Yeah.
instead of being unalive.
Oh, girlfriend, uh, wait till you see, wait till you see Pam Bondi. She's going to be doing the
She's
perp
going,
walk.
that's what you said.
She's going to lose
You
her
said
law
it.
license too.
You said it way before when you first read on her. It was months ago, and you said
Okay.
she's not long for this job or
No,
something.
and Cheeseburger too. Remember Cheeseburger when he was doing that the last administration? I said, "Oh, he's in trouble. He just lost his
Yes, you did.
law license."
Yes, you did.
So
I
I
mean,
had a dream last night that
mm,
Netanyahu was running for his life and he was in the USA.
that's probably why he's running for his life.
Well, he's coming here to visit with Trump.
There's a lot of people who hate him here.
I don't know. I saw him running for his life.
Well, you know, Iran has a bounty on Donald's head.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, they've been having a
Oh,
bounty on his
yeah.
head.
Yeah. So what I want to know, maybe you can ask your guides. What I want to know is when Donald left the country to go to what, Canada for
Mhm.
that 7, he has to be arrested outside of the United States to fall in line with the rules of the ICC, the International Crime. Jack Smith. By the way, Jack is back in the US right now.
No. What's he doing?
What do you think?
You think he's working on the Trump case? Good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Trump hasn't had him
I think he's
arrested.
got all the marbles. Someone said to me, the ICC doesn't have jurisdiction in the United States. I said that would be for any citizen, and they said, well, he can't arrest the president. And I said, what if he's not really the president?
He's not.
He Correct. He can be decertified like that.
Mhm.
And then, like you said, all the little marbles, all the dominoes drop. Remember, you said if
Yeah.
he is proven to be
A traitor.
a traitor, that's the key. So there are treason charges that have
I
already been
mean,
created. And I don't know if Jack is here to deliver it. I don't know.
poor Jack. He had to sit there and wait while that Supreme Court sat on that
You know,
thing,
Joe Biden, of all the things that he did, I think that is his biggest regret.
was
Young
putting it,
Margaret. Yeah. He was just too meek
you know,
for that
he
role.
was a Libra all the way.
Oh, yeah. We needed a Barracuda.
We needed an Aries.
We needed Tish James.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Listen, and wait till this. Listen, you guys, just start imagining, wait till he's out of there. We are going to have, and Supreme Court gave the president all kinds of powers. So whoever the new president is, he'll take advantage of that a little bit to reverse everything Trump touched.
I don't know if you know this,
What?
and you may know this. Before Joe left office, he signed a decree, a document, and put it in, like, it went to either the F group or the C group, those 3-letter groups. I'm so used to speaking in code because I'm new and I don't want to,
Upset the cart.
yeah. And apparently he left a written executive order from the last year of his presidency that said something about anyone who is accused of, tried for, or convicted of treason cannot sit in the oval in the chair. So if you're accused on trial
Isn't that
for,
already in the Constitution though?
it may be, I don't know, but he left like a
Oh,
note.
that was an executive order, yeah.
Yeah. And you know that what's his name? Felon 45 is trying to get Joe declared incompetent.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think that is? Well, I'll tell you why. Because then they could say, well, that letter doesn't mean anything. That executive order,
Well, he
nothing
was
he did.
furious of all the people he gave pardons to, and he couldn't touch them.
And I'm so glad he pardoned his son. I really am.
Yeah, they
I
would have been
wanted him
all
to do
over
that.
him.
Yeah.
They wouldn't
I
have
also
let it go.
wanted him to pardon. Who's that? Who's that? It's an unusual name. She was held in captivity for what, 4 or 5 years. I can't think of her name. It'll come to me.
Who was
But
she?
an American woman who turned over secret information. She was working for the federal government, and she it was
She
very,
had a very unusual name too,
yes,
like a
like,
horse name,
yes, and I
something
can't
in the
think of it.
fifth or something.
Right. It'll come to me.
Yeah, and she served her time, but they didn't put any of those people
I
in the same
right,
thing.
right. I wanted him to give her, what is the word for it? Sort of like a pass. Not
Yeah,
just
a pardon, and he
a
didn't.
pardon, but like to reverse the charges so they're not in her record anymore.
Nah, he didn't do that.
He didn't do it.
Hey, listen, I just had before your show, I did a show with a terrific gal named Ness, who's also an astrologer,
Yeah, I know
and
Ness.
she says the 24th of July looks really bad for Trump.
I kept pulling cards, in my readings on my show, and I usually will pick one main topic, and then I'll do some pendulum or, something else to kind of fill the space. Yes and no's. And when I was doing this, I kept getting tens, a 10 card, a completion card. This is complete. Another one. And I said, maybe this is 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months. This was at the last week of June. So I figured by the middle of September, it's
Something.
bye-bye.
I love it. I love it. What do you think is going to happen to Elon? Is he going to have to leave the United States to
He's planning to. He's going to drop his bomb, which is that SpaceX, I set it up. You know that's how it was done, right? Did
what?
you know?
No.
Okay, this is how they cheated. He set up, everybody's calling me going, wait, you're not live. That's fine. He set up his SpaceX satellite dishes all over, the US to change the outcomes of every swing state, New York included.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, so that's how it was done
Yeah, we
through.
knew he helped him win.
Yeah, his satellites changed all the outcomes. I live in Michigan. This is a blue state. Gretchen Whitmer is my governor. Our attorney general is openly gay. Karen, what is her name? Nessel, Attorney General Nessel. Um, we are not a swing state. We
Right.
are a blue state, Michigan,
And
and
you guys
also
voted for Trump.
Wisconsin, all of these states. In New York, in that Rockford, New York, or wherever it was, in that little county or city or whatever it is, and maybe I'm mispronouncing it. I'm sure someone will correct me because they all do. But Kamala, it's very hard for me to say it. Kamala had 0 votes.
I know that was
It's
ridiculous.
not possible. That would be like Alabama voting for her.
Yeah.
And he gets 0 votes. Now that could happen this time, although he's not running again. He won't even be alive.
No.
I think he'll be gone before the new year. I mean, unalive.
Wow. A lot of people say that. He's got a lot of aspects
It's
towards
not something
health.
I'm wishing for. I have to be candid with you though. And I know you say this all the time about we don't want to wish bad
No,
things.
we can't because it works against us.
That's right. It's bad karma. But
He's just building it up and he doesn't care about regular people. He was down there at that alligator farm, all happy
Yep.
about the tents they put up to kill regular people. And I wouldn't doubt if they put a little, stand there so people could sit in the stand and watch people, humans get eaten by alligators. It's
I
like
do
the
not
Romans.
know how a human from anywhere can lock children up in cages, living for days and days and days and days in dirty diapers
I
with
know.
no food. I can't conceive of the evil
Yeah, they're
of
evil.
that.
You know who showed up really bad the other day when I was reading on him? Steve Miller. He's got trouble coming. His cards were more about DEATH than Trump.
Mhm. Mhm.
Something
Mhm.
bad's going to happen to him. But let's say, because let's say Trump, you know how he is, he'll pull all the contracts with Tesla or Rocket, the Rocket Man. He'll pull all of that
Yeah.
because he's pissed. And then I could see Elon letting everybody know what happened with what really happened with it. And then,
Bingo.
but as he's announcing it, he's heading out of the state.
He said today, oh, it may not have been said today. It was said today. I watched the Midas Touch. I don't watch CNN or MSNBC anymore. Rachel lost me when she started criticizing
Joe,
the Democrats. And that's what they were forced to do. I would have walked. She could have started her own
she's
network.
going to, by the way, she's
Yeah,
trying to get out of her contract.
she will. She will get out of
Yeah.
it. But they I can't watch any of them. I don't trust a word that comes out of their mouth. So I watch Midas Touch and I watch uh, Brian Tyler, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And you know what
Cohen
I'm
or
talking about?
something.
Yes, yes, yes. And I watch, those kind of news providers. The only news I really take any, you know, stake in really is the AP and, believe it or not, Al Jazeera. Now,
Okay.
Libby, Meister Tarot, she has been a tremendous source of news because she lives in Australia or New Zealand, whichever, and she's been telling us
What
things.
Al Jazeera is saying.
Unbelievable. It's just Al Jazeera, they're not anti-US. They just give you the information and can, believe it or not, take you as an intelligent person and you can figure this out for yourself.
Wow.
Like Politico or other, newsworthy media. Don't tell me what to think. You know, um, Dan Rather doesn't tell you what to think.
No.
Walter Cronkite never told us what to think. This
And then
was
they
written.
all focus, those poor uh, uh, congressional Michigan people were shot and killed. And it's hardly a blurb in the news.
Correct. I didn't know about it until I knew about it. I mean,
And the guy that shot those firemen
yeah,
got pictures of his parents at the White House with their Trump caps.
sickening.
Yeah.
There are people who never will give him up.
Yes.
And I don't know if part of it is that they can't admit that they made a really ginormous
But
blunder.
when your mother is being pulled out of the home and you've got no money to feed your family, you'd be surprised how people change their
And
mind.
mom, and right, and grandma who's got prefrontal lobe dementia.
And by the way, they say, oh, they can get a job. An Alzheimer's patient can get a job.
It, they're they these are every single member of his group, whatever, that he's got his cabinet, and I use that term loosely. Not one of them. Rubio is the most qualified of all of them, and he's an idiot.
He's vacant in his eyes. Oh my God, he's
I
gone.
mean, and he's literally probably every night. How do I get out? How do I get out? How do I get out?
And you know what he'll do? The walk of shame. I see him being in legal trouble too because he assisted in this
That's
fraud.
right. That's right. And Elon, the way he will get out of it is after he does the drop of info, he is leaving the country. Literally, he's getting on a
I've
plane.
seen him leaving the country for a long time. He already knows where he's going.
Yeah, I think he's going to like Switzerland or somewhere like that.
Not Russia.
However,
Russia will plug. What do you think of that guy that ran Syria? What's that guy that ran Syria's name?
Mohammed bin Salman.
No, the tall guy with the weird face,
Oh, uh,
and he
tall
moved to
guy.
Russia,
Oh, you're
Syria,
talking about the guy who I know who you mean. Oh, crap.
and he was married to that English woman.
Yes,
And she wanted to get back in the UK, and the UK said, no, you can't come back here.
that's oh, forget it.
Anyway, I've been feeling he's gone or he's dead because I feel like Putin took his money.
I wouldn't doubt it. I
And
wouldn't doubt it.
Trump just announced that he is what he's taking restrictions off of Syria. He's taking restrictions off of Syria so they can take um, not Israel, Iran's money and give it to Russia from the banks there. They can take
And
Iran's
yeah,
money.
so Russia has money in Syria. Is that what you mean?
No, Russia has no money.
Right.
Trump is giving them via Syria Iran's money. Iran had money in Syria and it
Iran,
frozen.
Iran is going to put a bullet right here. Don't
Okay.
think for a minute that
But
they're going to look at.
he's the president of the United States. What the hell is he doing in this business? But he's saying, okay, I want Syria to give all the money you've been holding for Iran and give it to Russia.
You know, duh. I mean, Donald Donald's numbers in Texas were announced today.
Oh,
His
and
poll numbers. The last poll was he was at 60. He's now at 44.
whoa. And
And
elsewhere, he's lower. He's like 42.
way lower. He's in the 20s in some places. Not that that matters, but it matters for the midterms. The midterms are going to be a blue tsunami.
I love it.
But let them have their fun. Okay.
Yeah, but what do you do when a lot of red states got nothing left to lose? They have nothing.
You
What
know what?
happens then?
You know what the most handsome and beautiful Gavin Newsom is
Yeah,
doing? He just put forth a bill for approval in California that allows him the right to withhold his taxes, California income tax or use tax, whatever, from the government, because if FEMA does not exist and you have a quake or you have floods or fire or whatever, you need that money, you meaning the state,
yeah,
needs that money to hire the proper help.
yeah.
Watch him win.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt if he wins.
Watch him win that one.
They'll take it to
Right?
the court.
There's
Supreme Court will tell him he can't do that, but he'll do it anyway.
yeah, he'll do it
Because
anyway.
you obviously you don't have to do what the Supreme Court says.
That's states' rights.
Yeah.
I mean, and I have the Constitution on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
In the Constitution, states are essentially little islands of power. And it's set up where we can't, what is it called when you want to break off from the United States and be your own country, whatever it is.
Right.
And you can't really do that. I mean, you can do that, but you can't, because the United States is going to attack you and take you back. What are you going to fight with? The National Guard?
Yeah.
So Texas wanted to do that.
But what is it called? Surrection? What is it called?
No, not a surrection. Um, Not an insurrection. It would be like a
But it's illegal. You can't do that. But you can keep
it
your
is illegal. But yeah, I know we're both looking. But whether
insurrection. It's called an insurrection.
it's called an insurrection? Okay.
Yeah. But you can't, California can't say we succeed from the Union. They can't do that.
Secede. That's it.
Yeah.
No, they can't say that, but they don't have to give them their money.
Right. And
And
you know
since
what? We're the ones, California is the ones that feed the red states.
California is the fourth largest economy in the world. The state of our United States. And what are you going to do if they say that? You're going to send in the military? You know what the military is going to say? We're not doing that.
Yeah.
They don't want to, even when he had his little parade, they weren't dressed well intentionally.
They were very half-assed.
They were very half-assed. They weren't marching in step. And don't think they don't know how to do this. But they had to do it, so they did it like amateurs.
Yeah. I love it. So yeah, okay, so he put through that bill. Oh, Trump will be furious.
Just the fact that he put it through. Now, Trump can't do anything.
No.
He can't. And haven't you said many times, or at least more than once, about flooding in Florida and things of that
Oh,
nature?
yeah. We're experiencing
Mar-a-Lago is right on the water.
and he's not going to do anything to help Florida either. Well, what are you
No,
talking about? The Satan stole the money. He said, send it to my wife because if you send
yeah,
it through the state, we won't get it fast enough. And she kept it. She pocketed it.
of course she did. Same with who's that woman in Tennessee who is, maybe she's a senator. So she got all kinds of money. They're all putting it in their pockets. He has
Oh, Christy
them how to
knows
do it.
put $80,000 in her pocket.
Same with MTG. Pretty quiet lately, aren't you,
Yeah, she
Marjorie?
made money off the stock market too.
Oh, yeah. All of this is going to trickle out like rats jumping off a ship. Who said that? You did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Tomatoes being thrown
Being
at you.
thrown.
You did.
And that Ted Cruz, it was so funny. He was someplace and everybody's going, F you, Cruz. That was so funny.
It was
So do
great.
you think this bill's going to pass through the House? It went back to,
They're going to chop it up in further in the
oh,
House. And then it's got to go back to the Senate.
oh my God.
So somebody said to me today, let them fight. Shut up. When someone is throwing themselves off the edge, let them throw.
Okay. I love
So
it.
we'll just sit there and go like this. Now, Lisa Murkowski, you remember that little gift that she was supposed to get in the bill for
Yeah.
Alaska? The parliamentarian of the Senate, it's a nonpartisan role. It's not an
And you
elected
know,
thing.
Trump would love to get rid of them, but I guess he can't.
He can't. The parliamentarian said, this is not allowed. This is in violation of Senate rules. We can't give to Alaska and not give to everyone. So
But
that
she
part,
did get something because she voted yes.
right, but that little gift that she thought she was getting, she's not getting.
But is she getting something because she voted yes?
She must be getting something. Why else would she do that? I guess I like Tom Tillis. It's not like I'm a fan, but good for you standing up
Yeah.
and
And Rand Paul of all people.
Rand Paul, Josh Hawley, Mr. Running.
No, yeah, no, he changed his mind. He
Oh,
voted
yes,
yes.
because he wants his job.
And you know who else is Collins? Susan Collins voted no.
Yeah, but she knows it's going to wind up back in the Senate. It's going to wind up back in the Senate.
Okay.
If the House changes one word, the becomes it goes back to the Senate.
That's wonderful. Thank you
And
so
then they
much.
can argue, well, I meant and that's what I want. But it's really
Well, guess what? Lisa Murkowski is already asking for the bill back from the Senate because she says she's upset about it now. So I don't know what she's upset about.
Exactly. So, like I said, let them argue and we'll just watch. When someone is burning their own house down, you do not give them a hose.
Yeah.
Just,
But they will run so fast when Trump is proven
you
beyond a
know,
reasonable doubt to be
he
a traitor.
must he must have such deep stuff on everyone. He's got it on every
Russia
judge,
does. Yeah.
Russia, and hence Donald. Donald is just a puppet, and Putin is a puppet.
Yeah.
There's someone even higher up than Putin.
Really?
Leonard Leo,
Yeah.
the Heritage Foundation. These organizations have been planning this since Reagan. This 2025 has been in the
But
planning.
why do I never feel it, even though they're trying, I feel
Never
everything
going to
falls
happen.
apart. You know why? Because they picked a clown to represent. He's a clown. He's a
He is a clown, and this is a circus.
yeah,
And he's all about ratings.
yeah.
You know, well, I'm more popular than so and so. And no, you're not. We hate you.
They hated him at the G7. They were
New
laughing
York
at him.
knew.
They
I
did.
mean, I couldn't believe it even with Hillary. Seriously. And she would have been some kind of president.
Oh my God.
Some kind of president.
And if Elon hadn't helped Trump, we would have
We
a
will
good
have.
president and vice president.
I think we will have.
Yeah.
I don't think that's over.
Oh gosh, I hope you're right.
I mean, you're way more connected to the realm than I am because I don't have as much experience. Having said that, though, when I say that, I get chills. I have chills right now.
That she could possibly be the president?
Because when I get chills, for me, that's
Yeah.
the
Mel
creator.
Mel gets that too.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what Jack Smith is doing here.
He's certainly not on vacation. They've
To give
laid
it
off.
to the rightful owners.
Yeah, you're a squatter. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh
Have a
God,
nice,
I often
have a nice
saw the
life.
military coming in, taking them
And
out.
grabbing him by the shoulder. I had a dream like that.
What'd you
When
dream?
I had a dream after you talked about this vision
Of
that
a
you had.
military going.
Nancy Pelosi was in the room and the military was in the room. This is what was part of your story. I had a dream and I saw a hand with stripes on it, on the sleeve. I didn't see a face, but military, how they have 4 stripes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
and grabbed him by the shoulder. Sir, please stand up. What are you doing? And then someone comes over here and goes, sir, the colonel asked you to stand. You will stand. Or something like a real demand.
Well, let me tell you, his first thing, he did not want to leave office. He was planning on sitting there and not leaving. And what are you going to do about it? And I see generals telling him it would be pretty ugly. You would be dragged out and everyone would see that. And so he reluctantly agreed to leave.
Exactly. And it is conceivable. Other countries do elections in 6 weeks. They start July 1st, and by mid-August, they vote. And I know the United States is big, but Canada's pretty big. That's how they do it. There is a possibility there will be a vote this year.
Oh my God.
Again, I don't even care about the vote, though. If they have it, of course, I will vote. I see Kamala in the White House.
Oh, yay.
I see
Well,
her.
that we all saw that. And maybe,
I have the chills
we
again
got a
all the
little
way to my
detour,
head.
but it'll happen. We've only going in now 7 months into this presidency.
I see her in a dark navy suit with a white blouse, like sort of like that closed collar,
Yeah.
or maybe you know what I mean? Very smart, very stylish. And that's how I see her. In heels, I have the chills right now, right now.
Wow. I love it.
Like crazy. Thank you, Spirit.
So, well, girlfriend, I'm so delighted to have met you. You kept
Linda,
this thing going. You're a good psychic too.
I'm really working on it. I meditate. I do the stuff that a lot of people say to do to open, like you say, allow.
Yeah.
Get out of your own way.
Get out
I
of your
mean, it
own way
sounds
and
so
allow. Yeah.
corny, but it's so true.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. And you're at Debra's with an S, Blue
Yes,
Tarot at hotmail.com. And
that's
just
right.
write you if they want a personal reading. And
Yes.
then your YouTube channel, I'll post that on there too.
Okay, great. And make sure you
Subscribe, you
send,
guys.
thank you. And make sure that you send me, just send it in an email. It's fine. An address, because I have a
Okay.
deck for you.
All right, girlfriend.
Everyone knows this. This is my Linda G deck.
What's the tea? I love it, girlfriend.
You'll love
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you, Linda. Oh my
Thank
God.
you, honey.
I hope we can someday do this
Oh,
again
I'm sure we
with
will.
an audience.
Yeah, well, you're good. I'm sorry I didn't really know, except you had wrote me.
Oh,
I have so many people. I subscribe to your channel, by the way. So now
thank
I'll start
you.
really watching it because you're
But
really
how did
different.
you know how you were going to feel? You know, you have surgery that you're being sedated. You don't really know.
Yeah.
But when I saw you and I said, oh my God, maybe she canceled the surgery because you were so alert. And
Well, remember
so,
when I had my breasts
yes,
redone
yes, I
from the
do.
cancer? I
Yes,
went on the next day with what that shirt say? I'm not dead yet. I was up there and you guys were all so, oh my God, Linda.
my sister, here's a quick one just before we go. After her colon surgery,
Yeah.
2 days later, she calls me up and says, you want to have meatloaf for dinner? I'm cooking.
The heck? Ooh,
I'm
meatloaf
like, what
sounds
the hell
good.
are you doing? Yeah,
I love you, Deborah. You're a wonderful person.
I love you, Linda. You'll never know how much
It's an honor to meet you.
unless you have me back.
Boy, I'll have you back. It's or if you need me on your show too.
Oh, that would be all.
Yeah.
Can we do a
Oh,
live together?
yes, I'll do a live.
Okay.
I'll be on your show. Set it
Okay.
up. Okay.
Okay. I would love to.
All
We'll
right,
we'll
honey.
talk later and we'll plot out a date.
Sounds good. Ciao.
God bless you. Bye.